South Texas, the epicenter of trophy whitetail deer management. That's for sure him.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents
This week, Blondie and I are headed back to South Texas for the 5th year in a row with good friend Joe Matkin, Panther Hollow Whitetails. It's early season. Joe's got some patterned. We got a new caliber, 7 SPRC we're taking with us. Those big whitetails in South Texas are in trouble.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Macmillan Fiberglass Stocks, Swarovski Optique, and Extreme Wildlife Adventures.
$15.5-hour drive from Georgia. I'm back in Dilley, Texas, and just arrived at Panther Hollow Ranch. Gonna start hunting in the morning. It's early season out here. Joe's got some deer kind of patterned, just like last year. He said they hadn't been near as regular this year, so it might take us a little bit, but got a cool day tomorrow. It's been real hot out here. We got a cold front blowing in tomorrow. High's only supposed to be in the very low 70s, which is frigid for this time of year in South Texas. So ought to be a good hunt. We're looking forward to it every year. And nobody cooks biscuits and stuff better than Miss Claudia, so even if we don't kill a deer, we'll have something good to eat. But I think we'll kill a deer. South Texas is really the birthplace of trophy whitetail deer management. They do it like no other people in the whole country, and they have excellent results. Joe Matkin has been managing this particular ranch here for many years now, and Denise and I have been hunting with him for 5 years, and we've taken some exceptional trophies there. This year was to be no exception. As per usual, Joe's been sending all summer long, all up through September, trail camera pictures of big South Texas bucks, and he had us both really anxious to get back out there in the early fall like we usually do.
Hi, I'm Joe Matkin with Panther Hollow Whitetails. This week we've got Allan and Denise Rovig here. We're going to do our best to find them a couple of really good bucks. We've made a few changes this year at the ranch with the COVID outbreak. We've decided to back off our hunts a little bit and take that opportunity to do some improvements on the ranch, the biggest of which is we're building a brand new lodge. That lodge is in its latter stages of completion now, so we'll have everything up and running next year and look forward to a more normal situation and killing a lot of big deer next year.
So for this hunt, and for many to come in the same year, I was gonna use one of our new calibers. It's a 7 SPRC. Real efficient, super accurate. This particular gun, we had shot multiple groups at 3 and 4 inches at 1,000 yards. So to get your average South Texas shot at a whitetail at 200 to 300 to 400, this was gonna be just the weapon we needed to take on the hunt. Denise was gonna be shooting a 6.5 PRC. The gun she was using had a 26-inch number 4 Brooks barrel, and it was shooting a 135 grain Berger bullet about 3,275 feet a second, which is absolutely lethal medicine for these South Texas whitetails.
It's a little warm. I think we missed our little cool front, but I bet those deer still come out.
Well, it is my season opener for the 2020 season, my first out-of-state hunt, and we are in deep South Texas at Panther Hollow Whitetails. And right off the bat, we are looking at some gorgeous young bucks. Joe Mackin knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to managing whitetail deer. Well, our first set here at Panther Hollow is coming to a close, and we have had deer the entire time we've been sitting out here. Saw some really nice bucks, just not any that are on our list, but not a moment where we didn't have something exciting going on.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
Joe keeps us hungry all year long. He's constantly sending us trail cam photos. As soon as these bucks start getting antlers on them, we get to watch them mature. But of all the ones he sent, he had one that definitely piqued my interest. Claudia has us fixed up with our snack this morning. When our stomach starts growling, we can settle ourselves back down and concentrate. This particular buck had been hanging out at a super long sendero, had a nice long stretch where I could test out the 6.5 PRC.
That's our buck. He's come out on this side. God, he's pretty. That is a beautiful buck. Let's see if I can get out of this window. You want him, Russell? You got this. Morning. Well, I have started off my season in Texas, and it is a hammer of a buck.
When I finally walk up on this buck, he is a mainframe 5x5 with all kinds of extra points and stickers. Good Lord, I don't even know how you describe a deer like this, but he was every South Texas hunter's dream. Well, this is a great way to start my 2020 deer season. Panther Hollow, look forward to this trip all year. It's always a great experience. Just a beautiful deer, and that was a precious moment for me watching that deer. And 6.5 PRC, 140 grain burger bullet, put this big boy down. This is not a small bodied deer at all. What a gorgeous, gorgeous deer. He's got it all. He's got mass all the way out to the ends, and oh my gosh, split brow tines. He's got this extra tines on the inside. Panther Hollow never disappoints. Oh my goodness. I am so blessed. With my deer down, it's time for Allan to go to work.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Puff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, Borden Accuracy, Ultimate Antler Deer Feed, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to show you a pretty cool technique and a very precise technique we have for getting your scope mounted and in perfect alignment with your bore. You need a few things for this. You need tape measure, you need an extra half a ring, and we usually put a little tape on it to keep it from scratching your barrel. You need a raceway level, and you need a flashlight. Some kind of vise to put your gun in to hold it stationary so nothing moves while you're getting everything squared away. Little leveling devices are helpful, and that's all you need to get started.
Well, so, you might just want, a torque set or two to, to tighten everything down to the torque and everything.
Yeah. Some people do need tools as well. So
yep.
That's why he's standing up here with me. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this bolt out, then I'm gonna hand Keith this raceway level. Explain to him what you're doing there.
So right now I'm taking the raceway level and I'm going to slide it into the races that the bolt travels down. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it from up here and see what it takes to get the raceway level. And what that's going to do is put everything on a plane where I mount the scope and follow that same, so I'm going to follow that same plane to mount that scope up. And that's going to get the crosshairs truly bisected.
Perpendicular to that plane, that's right.
Perpendicular to that plane, but bisecting that bore, at that 90 degrees. I'm going to start with placing in the scope. And what we're going to do with the scope is we're going to take a measure and set up our eye relief.
And we have a pre-measured on this stock and this scope. We've established it at 10.5 inches, so that's where you're at basically, right?
Yeah. So now at 10.5. I'm also going to take and adjust the diopter back out, and that's going to make the light, whenever it shines through there, it's going to clear up that reticle on there.
So we're going to take our little half a ring here. We got a little tape on it so it's not going to scratch anything. And we're going to put our flashlight up here. We put this front ring on. Keith's going to get those started. Then we're going to cut our flashlight on.
All right, go ahead and turn it
All right,
on.
now we got the light on. We see our crosshair is not quite where we need for it to be. So we're going to get it exactly on that or parallel to that line. Doesn't matter, whichever way you can see the crosshair better. And then he's going to start cross tightening these screws, maintaining our equivalent gaps on both sides of these rings. All right. So the line now, the crosshair, the vertical crosshair is perpendicular to the bore by using that raceway guide. He's going to tighten these other screws down. We're going to tighten the backs up. The whole time we're going to let it stay on our graph there so we make sure it's vertical.
And I'm still going to follow the staggering until I get these all the way put in. And you always want to follow the guidelines, because if you over squeeze them, you are definitely going to crush the tube.
That's right. These Hawkins, they recommend 25 inch-pounds on the top, so that's what he's going to now.
Do one last check, just make sure everything stayed the same.
Square.
Square, square, and square.
We're good to go. So Crosshair being exactly perpendicular, we've already talked about in the past how imperative it is to not cant your rifle. You got to start out with it perpendicular to begin with. And that's our downrange segment this week from Allan and Keith, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Tacticam, Sig Sauer, Trigger Tech, Brooks Barrels, Capstone Precision Group, and Hawkins Precision. This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
So the hunt was originally planned for 4 days, and we had maybe a little leeway to stay a little longer, which turned out to be fortunate because we needed it. Our last scheduled day, we didn't see the deer. Joe had actually gone out and sat in the stand on another part of the property, and he had actually seen this deer. So we made the last minute decision to stay and try to hunt him that last morning, and we're glad we did. That last morning, we know it's now or never. We get into this blind real early. I mean, way earlier than you usually get in a South Texas blind. And the Sendero had been fed, and we're just waiting in complete anticipation of seeing this deer. So as the shadows start lifting and the light comes up, we see just multiple deer. Then horns start to appear, and then big horns start to appear. And then I'm pretty sure that this buck that's about 150 yards from us is our target buck. That's for sure him. That's for sure him. You got enough light? Because I don't. We done hunted him all week. I don't want him to get away. Only problem is there's so many deer in the Sendero feeding that it's going to be really hard to get him isolated and make a safe, ethical shot without a possibility of hitting another deer. Because even though the Burger bullets usually don't exit and they spend all their energy in a deer, on occasion they will exit. So it was a kind of a cat and mouse thing for probably 12 to 15 minutes, and he finally got isolated at about 150 yards. Where'd he go? Down? Down these tracks. Give me 5, Ruskell. Oh, my goodness gracious alive. Oh, what a buck, what a buck. Oh, man, I am excited. I've killed a bunch of big deer in my life, but I'm excited about this sucker. Well, this is the happy ending to our South Texas hunt this year. We're hunting with good friend Joe Matkin at Panther Hollow again this year. Joe's got some of the most amazing deer that you'll ever want to put your eyes on. Been a little tough this year. We had one cool day and we saw some good deer, and we let a couple good deer go. And Denise ended up killing a really good one yesterday. But this is a buck we've been after the whole time. We call him the 6x5, and that's what he is, basic 6x5. And he's got everything. He's got some extras as well, but he's just got long sweeping beams, long tines, just a gorgeous buck. And we just couldn't ever find him. Joe, we've been looking for him all week, and Joe took it upon himself to go stand on the other side of the ranch yesterday, and this deer walked out on him, and Joe was kind enough not to shoot him. He said it was one of the hardest things he could ever do, but we sure are glad. We came back in here this morning and fed these senderos and had the Swarovskis on them the whole time, and could tell this big heavy buck was out there. And I had to tell Russell to be on him the whole time, because after 4 days of hunting this guy, he wasn't getting out of sendero. But about 180 yards, and the gun we used this time was a 7 SPRC. It's a 6.5 PRC necked up to 7mm, and with our loads, we got them going about 3,000 plus feet a second with a 180 grain burger, and that did the job. High shoulder, I filled the bullet on the other side right under the hide, and he dropped in his tracks. So just a great deer, great South Texas hunt. This is what we look forward to every year, pretty much more than anything we do, and we do a lot. Just thank you, Jesus, for letting me hunt animals like this. I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't a deer hunter. I guess I'd have had to be a golfer or something, I guess, but I'm glad I'm not a golfer. What a buck.